You've got 500,000. Now that's a serious chunk of change, right? But what if I told you that same 500K could buy you a mansion in some parts of the US or barely a condo in Toronto? Today we're breaking down exactly what 500K gets you in Canada versus the US and why where you buy could completely change your lifestyle, investment, potential, and even long-term wealth. Hi, I'm Sean Bozuk and I'm partner of the Danlee Group here in Canada and now with eXp Realty. I'm here to help you get a better understanding of the real estate market in Canada and why comparing it to the US might shock you. Let's get right into it. 500,000. That's a nice number. For some, it's a life-changing down payment. For others, it's the price of a starter home in Canada. In Toronto, 500K could get you a small one-bedroom condo, maybe 600 square feet. If you're lucky, you'll get a nice balcony with a view of a parking lot. In Ottawa or Calgary, 500K can stretch further, maybe a modest detached home, but likely in a neighborhood far from downtown or schools. Vancouver, forget it. You might only get half a parking spot, literally. In the US, Phoenix, Arizona, 500K buys you a brand new 3-bedroom, 2-bath house with a backyard, sometimes even a pool. Dallas, Texas, 500K can snag you a 4-bedroom suburban home close to schools, parks, even a Costco. Tampa, Florida, 500K might get you a single-family home near the water with modern finishes, 2-car garage, and a grill that actually is worth using. So right away, you can see the huge disparity in purchasing power. But it's not just about square footage, it's about lifestyle, taxes, financing rules, and long-term equity. Mortgage differences. Canada's stress test rules means you qualify at a higher rate than the one you actually get. You must verify all income, no just say it approach. 25-year amortizations are standard unless you put 20% down. Walking away isn't an option. The bank doesn't care if the market tanks. In the US, some states still have interest-only loans, 40-year amortizations, and low or zero down payments. In some cases, you can walk away from the mortgage if your home value drops. Your credit might get dinged, but the house is gone. Mortgage interest is a tax deductible, a huge perk in the US homeowners. This difference changes how far your 500K goes. You may get more home for your money in the US, but Canadian mortgages are built for stability and long-term safety. You don't get the same risk, but you also don't get the same leverage. Property taxes and closing costs, another big difference. Property taxes vary, usually 0.5 to 1.5% of the home value per year. Closing costs, 1.5 to 4%, depending on province, plus lawyers' fees and land transfer taxes. First-time homebuyers rebates exist in some provinces. In the US, property taxes can range from 1.5 to 3% in many states, but in some countries, they're 3 to 5x higher than Canada. So even if the home prices seem cheaper, the US ongoing costs and taxes might offset some of the advantage. You still get more square footage. But it's important to calculate all the numbers. Lifestyle differences, space, commute, and amenities. This is where it gets fun. Let's talk lifestyle. In Canada, 500K in Toronto, condo living, you're living walking distance to transit, grocery stores, maybe a trendy coffee shop, but forget about parking, backyards, or even space for a home gym. In the US, 500,000 often buys a single family home with a yard, maybe a suburban area, schools are bigger, commutes may be longer, but your dog has room to roam. Lifestyle choices matter. Are you willing to trade space for location, or is space worth the longer commute? This is why comparing 500,000 homes isn't just math, it's life planning. Now let's talk equity. 500,000 in Canada. Home appreciation has been historically strong in cities like Toronto and Vancouver. Entry-level homes are expensive. You might buy a small condo for 500,000 and in 5 years it's only appreciated 10, 15%. Not bad, but not huge either. 500,000 in the US, in emerging markets like Austin or Raleigh, that 500,000 home could double in value over 10 years if the area rapidly grows. More space, more rental income, potential if you ever decide to rent it. So again, it's a trade-off, stability in Canada, growth and leverage in the US. There are some things people don't think about. US homeowners pay more for flood, hurricane, or earthquake zones depending on the location. Canada, you're mostly safe for natural disasters, but insurance for condos can be high. HOA fees in the US Many US communities charge $200, $500 a month for landscaping, pool and snow removal, maintenance, and more. That $500,000 suburban house in Dallas is fun, but don't forget mowing, painting, and HVAC maintenance. Currency risk. If you're a Canadian buying in the US, exchange rate fluctuations affect your investment. Real life examples, let's compare some actual examples using a $500,000 Toronto one-bedroom condo, around 550 square feet. Central to the neighborhood, balcony view, a parking lot. Ottawa, Ontario, two-bedroom condo, 750 square feet suburban area, 10-minute commute downtown. Then we got Phoenix, Arizona, three-bedroom, single-family, 2,000 square foot backyard with a pool. Commute to city center. Dallas, Texas, four-bedroom suburban, 2,400 square foot modern kitchen, two-car garage, short drive to the parks and schools. The difference in space and lifestyle. The potential growth are staggering. How to decide where you buy. Here's the approach I recommend for Canadians thinking to cross the border. Define your goals. Are you buying to live, rent, flip, or invest? Consider lifestyles. Do you want a city life, backyard, or both? Run the numbers, include mortgage rates, property taxes, insurance, maintenance, and potential appreciation. Work with cross-border accountants and realtors. Don't guess. My honest advice, if you're wondering, Sean, should I buy in Canada or the US? Buy in Canada if you want stability and security and lower risk. Buy in the US if you want leverage, growth potential, and more lifestyle space. But be prepared for extra costs, taxes, and risks. And remember, $500,000 means very different things depending on where you are. Don't just look at the numbers. Look at the lifestyle investment potential and long-term costs. If you want my full Canada and US $500,000 comparison cheat sheet, including exact neighborhoods, average taxes, insurance costs, investment potential, comment cross-border below and I'll send it right to you for free. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss next week's video.